Oh, hi. Sorry, I was, you caught me a little unawares. I was scrolled down to the bottom of my page and I couldn't see that I was on screen. What's up, everybody? So it is Tuesday. It is 4 o'clock here in Central Texas, and it is still cold as balls, in case you were wondering, but not nearly as cold as it is up north. I am in a mastermind with someone who literally their temperature on yesterday was negative 34 degrees. And I don't even know how to process that. Like, my actual question was, so what happens when you go outside? Do you like actually just die? And he jokingly responded with, no, you got about 30 seconds to get to your car before you die. So yes, it's cold here, but it's not nearly as cold as where so many other people are. If you are in one of those areas that has gotten this winter storm, then I definitely hope you're being warm, you're staying safe. I hope you have power. I at least hope if you're experiencing those rolling outages that you've been able to, keep your house warm and all that good stuff. So what we are here to talk about today is, hey Dodson, I did a really quick live yesterday talking about, or kind of giving you an opening or a preview or whatever, what we were going to talk about today. And so what that is I had made a post recently. I created a post and I've been dropping it in some different groups that I'm really active in. And it's just gotten this overwhelming response. And that really hit something with me. I'm like, man, maybe this is something we should talk about and something that I need to bring to my group. Because it's just it's just been really awesome to see people's responses and how engaged they are, and how much this has resonated and hit people. If you are here, I would love for you to say hi. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay it. But the post was, it was drop 3 to 5 reasons, and I've got it pulled up, so that's why I'm kind of looking everywhere. But drop 3 to 5 reasons someone should work with you, hire you, buy from you, learn from, whatever. But drop those reasons in the comments. I did not expect this to get the responses that it had, because a lot of times when you post something and you ask a question, sometimes you get a few responses here and there. But what I started to see overwhelmingly was just how much people really enjoyed not just the question and reading other responses, but being asked that question, right? Because if I ask you that right now, if I say, give me 3 to 5 reasons that someone is dying to work with you, right? Give me 3 to 5 reasons why they should. Why should they give you money? The question would be, how many of you could riff that off right here and now? Right? Without thinking about it, it's in the moment. You just met a potential client and they go, this all sounds great, but tell me why I should hire you. Yeah. Those are some tools we need in our arsenal, right? Those are some things that we need to be able to immediately grab and deliver, because there are more than 5, right? But we so often, we feel like it's, maybe some of us feel like it's bragging on ourselves. Maybe we haven't quite formed up the level of confidence that we need to have in order to answer that question. But if you don't believe in what you're doing, and if you can't convince someone else that you believe in what you're doing, why should they believe in what you're doing, right? We're not going to trust someone if they seem, if you're like, I mean, I do a pretty good job. I'm not going to give you money. Like, no, I don't want someone who's going to do a pretty good job. I want someone who's badass and whatever this thing is that you do. And in case you need a reminder, you absolutely are badass at what you do. Period. So that maybe would be step 1 for some of us, right? Is to remind yourselves on a regular basis, however often you need it, that you are a badass, that you are magical as fuck, that you are an expert, that you are the expert in what you do, right? That you can drastically and dramatically impact the lives of the people that you serve. Yeah? And if that makes you feel a little squirmy, then my challenge to you is that you need to start saying that to yourself on a regular basis. And this is not just woohoo, woo-woo mindset stuff, right? So y'all know this, I nerd out about the science behind the woo. You could freaking nerd out about it, right? And Dodson said it definitely is a confidence issue. I feel you on that 100%. It's not like I didn't start my business on day 1 going, I am a competent motherfucker. Like that, I don't think any of us probably do that. And the ones that do, it's probably a false sense place of arrogance, right? But the reality is that we need to correct that, and we need to tell ourselves those things. And I did not know this is where this is going to go, but that's okay. Y'all know I like to roll with it. So a couple things that I'm going to reiterate that I've talked about a lot, right? Is the first thing is that your subconscious will never make you a liar, ever. It's not how it's programmed. It's not how it's wired. So if you say, I'm a badass, right? Your subconscious is going to find ways to prove you right. If you say, this is really hard, your subconscious will also find ways to prove you right. That one's a personal one for me because I realized I say things are hard. And so I'm working on eliminating that from my vocabulary. But the other thing is too that your brain, okay, so this is kind of, I am taking some major concepts and like smashing them down, right? Two things that I'm gonna smash together. Your body and your brain feed off each other. I'm gonna come back to that. And your subconscious cannot distinguish, or your brain, not your subconscious, so your brain cannot distinguish between what's really happening and what's not happening. So between reality and dreams, or reality and like imagination or whatever. And I know there are some skeptics there, but here's the reality. Almost every single one of us could instantaneously call up something that's happened in our lives that's been imprinted and just emblazoned on our brains, on our hearts, every piece of us, right? Whether it's traumatic or it's joyful, whatever the case is. And whenever you remember that thing, you basically relive it, right? And what's happening is when you relive that thing, your brain's producing the same chemicals as it did when you were doing it in the first place. So as far as your brain is concerned, it's happening all over again. It doesn't matter that it's not really. Yes, it is. Okay? So hold that. I'm going to come into this brain and body thing, right? Brain and body feed off each other. A lot of you have heard of like the superhero pose. If you watched Grey's Anatomy, you've seen it. And it's this idea of whenever we're not feeling confident, standing in a superhero pose. So feet slightly apart, hands on your hips, chest out, chin up, right? That works. Here's why it works. Because when your body stands in a confident way, your body and your brain communicate, right? And your body's telling your brain goes, wait a minute, we're standing confidently. We must feel confident right now. We feel confident? So you can absolutely hack your brain and you can rewire those neural pathways. So if you say to yourself, and if you stand confidently, or you sit straight up and go, I am a badass. And you say it with just definitive, I lost my word that I was looking for. It's not really resolve, but you say it. You say it like you know it, like you own it, right? That will start to sink in, okay? So that's step number one. If you can't come up with 3 to 5 reasons someone should work with you, let's start working on that, owning your badassness and owning how magical you are. Dodson said it's like putting on a uniform. It really is, you guys. You might feel really stupid at first. You probably will if you've never done anything like this. Know that that's okay and that's totally normal, and fucking do it anyway. Okay? Because here's the deal. Remember too that things take time. So if you do it like every day for a week and you're like, I haven't seen any difference. Calm down, Skippy. You only done it 7 times. Okay? Keep doing it. And keep doing it believing that it will work. Knowing that it will work. Yeah? So anyway, back to these 3 to 5 reasons someone should hire you, and someone that you're going to tell someone, you need to hire me because, right? If anyone that's watching right now, if you've got some of those, I would love for you to drop them in the comments. I'd love for us to talk about them, even if you're just riffing off what's off the top of your head right now, okay? And what I want to encourage you, if you're thinking about these for the first time, we need to go beyond the broad. We need to dig in and dive a little bit deeper and a little bit more focused, yeah? So you could say, well, I'm really fun. Okay, that's great. A lot of people are really fun, right? Think about this in terms of what are you bringing to the table, perhaps that no one else is, or maybe it's just in a different way that other people aren't bringing, or that's not super common, or that your person needs, right? And you want to get specific with it. So I shared these yesterday, but one of the things that I always tell people is if you say, why should I hire you? I'm going to tell you because I legit believe that you are magic. And I legit believe and live my life on the knowledge and the fact, not supposition, not theory, but on the knowledge that you were created like no one else. And that because of that, you have something to offer that no one else can offer, right? There are people out there that only you can serve. No one can do what you do like you do, period. That's one of the reasons you want to hire me. Because not just I'm going to tell you it, I believe it. And when you're working with someone who believes in you to that extent and on that level, and who sees the possibilities that you are capable of and the potential that you have, you start to see it and you start to believe it until you've got plenty of belief for yourself, right? Dodson said, I use my creativity and skill to bring your dream to life. I love that for Dodson. If y'all still haven't checked him out, he creates just the most badass, amazing pieces. He is just a master at working with leather and all of that craft that goes into that. And whether it's, I'm so sorry. Let me get a drink of water real quick before I just keep coughing it up. I do not have COVID. I have allergies. But anyway, he creates, and he's got such a wide spectrum, right? Like he's created some of the most badass, like cosplay and, like, oh, Dodson, you're going to give me the right word here in a minute. I'm sorry. My words have just gone for the day. I don't know what happened. But he creates these amazing, like, costumes and pieces and, wow. Like, not time-based pieces, but like time, era, you know what I'm saying. He also creates amazing, everyday stuff, but his stuff is far from everyday, right? He's got these beautiful handcrafted bags. He's done wallets. He's done gun holsters. He has done, I mean, like, just basically name it, and he's probably done it. If you asked him, he could do it. And what I love about him, and I'm gonna pump him up a little bit, and I'm going to go a little bit further and say he doesn't just use his creativity and skill to bring your dreams to life, but he really listens to you, and he really gains a deep understanding of not just what you're saying, but how that is instructing what you want, right? So if I say, I want this and this and this, and he goes, well, basically you want something that makes you feel badass. I guarantee you that's going to be infused into whatever piece he creates for me, whether or not I give him that explicit instruction, right? So again, if you're watching right now the live, and you have a reason that someone would work with you, and you, like they say to you, why should I hire you? Drop that reason in the comments, right? Even if you're watching on replay, drop that in the comments, because I want to hear those from you guys. And not just because I want to know that you have them, but I mean, think about how you could springboard somebody else, right? And go, oh, I love that. I don't do that, but I do this, right? How much better would it be if we all had that level of confidence and knowledge in what we do and why we're amazing and why we're epic at it? Another one of mine is that I am always going to deliver it to you straight, no chaser, right? I am always going to be real with you. I am always going to recommend what is best for you and say what you need to hear. And that goes to the extent of, even if, let's say we hop on a call, I'm going to pour myself into serving you to the best of my ability. And if I find that the best way to serve you is to recommend that you go work with somebody else, it's exactly what the fuck I'm going to do, right? I'm going to give it to you straight, no chaser. That's a reason you want to hire me. Because you know that I'm not telling you anything that I don't genuinely believe is best for you. For you. Not me, not anybody else, but you, your business, your goals, and your dreams. And yeah, Dodson, you're right on the mark, right? We all want to feel good about ourselves. Like, who wants to feel crappy about themselves? When is that ever a thing that we strive for? Oddly enough, we have plenty of behaviors and thoughts and emotions and actions that contradict that and that leave us in that shitty place. But that's never an active goal, I think, that any of us are pursuing. So yeah. Why should I hire you? Right? Why is it you? Why are you the best person for me? And again, I want you guys to be able to have those answers available to you, not because you've memorized them, but because you believe them and you know that they're true. Because you're standing in that value and in that worth and in that knowledge, right? It's not about arrogance. That's something completely different. but it is about just, I hate the word confidence, but, because it's just so generic, but that's what it is, right? Because the other part of that is, you guys, once you're able to stand in that and communicate that with people, you've already, whether you know this or not, you have done such a huge piece of building that trust factor with that person, right? Because you stood there and said, I can do this for you. You hire me because I will do this, this, and this. You all of a sudden, not just that you've inspired confidence in themselves, you've inspired them to go, I think this can actually get done. And they're absolutely going to do it, right? Another one for me, why do you want to work with me? This is literally one of my reasons, is that I've got animal puns and lightheartedness for days, right? I can assure you that if you're ever working with me, however you're working with me, whatever capacity, you're going to laugh at some point, right? We're gonna keep it light. I'm gonna use those animal puns because who doesn't need more animal puns in their life? Answer: nobody. We all need more. But I wanted to share a couple that were in the comments too, right? I love this. One of the people that commented said, I hold space that feels safe, healing, and expansive. That's beautiful, right? And again, I want to go through some of these with you. So maybe they spark some for yourself and you can take them and make them your own. And you're like, holy crap, I do that too. But if you've never been through an exercise like this, you may not know where to start. Yeah. You will always feel heard and validated in our work together. Okay. Let's see, I'm going through these. You'll learn how to make people love you with your voice and presence. That's a pretty cool thing. Let's see. And this person said, if you work with her, right, you're gonna reclaim 2 to 3 hours per day, which you can use for more important things. Yeah. I will change your life and business and have it running like a well-oiled machine, and it will require less of your time in the long run. That's a pretty clear and compelling reason to hire someone. My energy and dedication is unmatched. I am a pro at guiding you to your deepest blocks. It's just, and there are so many more, but what is it that you do for your people, right? Think about how do you serve them? How do you, and this goes back to my 5x5 strategy. Yeah. What problem do you solve and how do you do it differently? That's another place you can start. Answer that question, right? Because that can often give you the exact things that you need to answer. Why should I hire you? What transformation are you providing? How do you want your people to feel? All questions, again, that are in my 5x5 strategy, right? But that can really help give you direction. And then there was one other one I was going to look up, and I should have had it already pulled up, and that's my bad. But anyway, yeah. So basically, bottom line, wrap it up, recap, super quick. One, if you don't already feel super confident that you could come up with that with 3 to 5 things to tell me why should I hire you, right? Right, and you're kind of sitting in that, get real honest with yourself. Is that coming from a place of a lack of confidence? And if it is, that's okay. It really is okay. We've all been there. A lot of us will go there again at some point because that's just how this works. It's just part of what we do as entrepreneurs. But start doing the work to overcome that. Start doing the work to build that confidence in yourself. Right? Start telling yourself that you are magical, you are badass, you are an expert, you are the expert, you're amazing at what you do. Look at what you've already done, right? Don't take that away from yourself. And then start going, okay, cool. Now I know I'm really great at what I do. Why am I really great? You can also ask people, ask your clients. If you've had some amazing clients that you've loved working with, ask them, what was it about me that made you hire me? What is it about me after working with me that you would recommend to someone else for them to hire me? There's so many resources that you can pull from to grab those answers to these questions. And my advice would be to grab as many as you can in the beginning if you're really going to go through this exercise. And then you start to pare down, right? If there's an answer in there that is it's just completely 100% true for you, but it's not at all unique, then that can still be true for you and that can still be something that you tell people, but that may or may not be something you want to include on the top reasons someone should hire you. Because you really want it to resonate with someone and they go, I haven't heard that before, or I haven't heard it stated that way, or I haven't, heard someone combine those things or get this result with that method. That's really what you're kind of wanting to go for there. Doesn't mean you can't use things that are generic. That's not it at all. You just want to make sure that they're not all generic, right? Because what you don't want is, again, for someone to go, well, so-and-so has that, so-and-so does that, I can get that here, right? So that is my deal for today. I hope that everyone, again, is having a fabulous week. And again, if you're in the midst, and Dotson said, asking clients and other folks is an interesting branding experience. It really, really is. Talking to other people about what you do and how they interpret it and all those things, it can be really eye-opening. It can be really affirming. It can give you some amazing data. It can give you some amazing content to use moving forward. So I encourage that with everybody. But yeah, if you're in all this winter storm stuff, hope you're staying warm, stay safe. Charge all your stuff when your power's on, because so many of us are losing power and all that super fun stuff. If you are watching replay or you come back to this and you have any questions, shoot me a direct message, pop them in the comments. I would love to answer them. I would love to help you guys out however I can. And I will talk to y'all real soon. Have a great rest of the day. Later.